Public transportation. From buses to trains to more creative ways like walking or biking, people need to get from point A to point B. Around the world, perhaps the most efficient and iconic method of transportation is the metro. I've been on over 80 metro systems from Baghdad to Berlin to Boston, and it's always a fun and wild experience. From beautifully decorated stations with mosaics and sculptures to giant rats dragging moldy pizza across the platform, the following are my self-declared best and worst metro systems in the world. Seoul's subway is without a doubt the most advanced transportation system in the world, carrying 7 million people every day on a network of over 300 stations. I used to ride it every day during my 2 years living in Seoul, and it's so easy to use, even for non-Korean speakers. What sets it apart the most is that it is so clean, you can literally eat off the floors. Other amazing features include heated seats, free Wi-Fi, and a wide variety of shops and vending machines. The one-way fare is about $1, and you will never wait in line longer than 3 minutes, which is what makes Seoul #1 on this list. Oh yeah, and have I mentioned how safe it is? I just bought this women's purse, shoved it full of items, and we're gonna leave it on the metro and see how long it stays there before someone grabs it. We waited an hour on the metro and nobody took it, so now we're gonna put it on the ground at this busy station. So we just followed that lady for 5 minutes and she returned the purse to the lost and found, and that just shows how respectful Korean people are. It doesn't even cross their mind to steal. The metro, or MRT, serving Bangkok is the most promising metro on this list. With an annual ridership of 92 million people, this subway gets extremely crowded, especially during rush hour and in busy centers. Construction was halted during the 1997 financial crisis, but since then, the MRT is one of the fastest improving metros in the world. Today, there are 53 clean, safe, and efficient stations, and there are plans to extend it to fill hundreds of more kilometers to accommodate the most visited city on our planet. Do you want to talk about efficiency? Hong Kong's MRT has a 99.9% on-time accuracy rate. Carrying around 5 million people per day with 166 stations, the MTR is one of the most immaculate subway systems in the world. Back in 1967, the government of British Hong Kong wanted to solve the problem of road congestion, and as a result, the first line opened up 12 years later in 1979. To make your travels easier and cheaper, don't bother taking out your wallets. Instead, use your Octopus card, which is a rechargeable contactless smart card that is the most popular electronic cash system in Hong Kong. Then you can enjoy the world's fastest escalators down to your station and get to your destination on time. If anything else, Moscow's metro is a magnificent museum in and of itself, with each station hosting stunning architecture, mosaics, chandeliers, stained glass artworks. Why do they make the metro so fancy? Like, what's the reasoning behind it? Arches, domes, and Soviet statues that you can rub for good luck. This subway might be the most impressive in the world. Shaped like a giant circle with deep stations around 250 feet below street level, it's also the longest metro outside of China, spanning over 270 miles of pure rail. If you go there, make sure to visit Mayakovskaya station. It looks like a giant ballroom, and you'll feel like you're walking through a medieval palace. All right, now that we've seen the best metros, it's time to turn our attention to the worst. The Mumbai Metro is one of the most chaotic and disorganized public transportation systems on Earth. Designed to reduce car traffic in the city, it is still an ongoing project expected to be completed in late 2026, but the construction plans have become notorious for being delayed. Problems acquiring land, alignment miscalculations, and poor implementation across the board account for Mumbai's rocky road to efficiency and cleanliness. Mumbai is one of the world's biggest cities at 22 million people, and so its metro system struggles to keep up with a growth rate of 2% each year. As you know from watching my channel, North Korea is full of surprises, and perhaps the biggest eye-opener was riding the Pyongyang metro. Let me get this straight. This is no ordinary metro. It is the deepest underground railway system on Earth, plunging 360 feet below the street. That is equivalent to a 36-story building flipped upside down. The escalator alone takes 3.5 minutes from ground level to platform. The metro was built in the late 1960s with a shockingly similar design to other communist metros like in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. But Pyongyang's is spooky and eerie with loud screeches that made me cringe.
Somebody forgot to do the brakes.
Socialist murals on the walls, communist music playing everywhere, and lots of people around, but nobody talking or smiling. Even stranger, all the staff was wearing the same military-style uniform, and all the while, I couldn't help but think, is everything staged? Was everyone prepped that foreigners were arriving? To this day, I still have no idea, but what I do know is that Pyongyang's metro is one of the strangest experiences in the world. Once upon a time, Venezuela had one of the world's most prosperous economies where workers were earning the highest wages in all of Latin America. But in the end, it was all too good to be true. Oil prices tanked alongside a fractured political system, resulting in severe hyperinflation. The economic crisis is best observed in the metro. For one of the worst metros on this list, it might come as a surprise to you that in 2018, the metro became completely free to ride. Free? This is because the government failed to provide transportation authorities with hard money, resulting in their inability to import paper to print tickets. During times of political unrest, it is very common for the government to completely close the stations. Violent crime, energy blackouts, and electric failures that make passengers walk through tunnels further contribute to Venezuela's metro being one of the worst I've ever ridden. The Big Apple, home to arguably the most famous underground metro system in the world. But is it the most efficient? Let's say you're running late downtown and have to be at the Empire State Building in 30 minutes. That'll be more than enough time, right? Forget about it. First, you have to weave your way through crowds of tourists, keep your head down, and watch out for piles of trash. And if it's raining outside, you might just have to swim, literally. Trains are slow and frequently subjected to construction and delays, and crime inside the transit system went up 73% in the last year. Back in April, the N train made global news when a man set off smoke grenades and opened fire, injuring at least 23 people, so it's hard to feel safe. And trust me when I tell you that the trains themselves are not sanitary, especially when comparing the metro to other ones around the world. For as unfriendly as New Yorkers claim themselves to be, if one thing unites them, it is their frustration with the iconic metro system. Now that I've given you a look into the best and worst metros on Earth, I want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree with any of my observations? Let me know in the comments down below. I just want to say that the poor quality subways on this list are not the reflection of the country's culture, people, or development. But as a traveler, it is important to note the pros and cons so you can get to your destination on time and use time to your advantage. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. I'm Drew Binsky, and thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this channel in the bottom left if you want to see more adventures from every country, and in the bottom right you will find my second channel, which are bonus travel stories that have never been seen. Lastly, on that middle link, I'm giving away for free my best flight hacks. Until next time, stay safe, be spontaneous, and just go.